Hi class, this is a short video to give you a little bit of a tour of Learn Brian and how to find your way around the 110 class, the English 110 class you're in now. I want to show you, it looks like there's a lot of work going on, but I think that once you have seen what all is involved in it and gotten a good introduction to it, it's not going to seem that bad. So during week 1, you can see when each thing is going to be due by looking at this calendar here. So on Wednesday, the week 1 online drill is going to be due. And then the first of the discussion questions is going to be due on Thursday, and that's the due date for your first post. You can still come in up until Sunday and post your last 2 responses. So use this as a guide for figuring out how you're going to plan out your week. You can also, over on the left, use the Prepare, Collaborate, and Apply organization here to help you plan out your week a little bit. So the only thing that's going to be due during the first half of the week is going to be a drill that's worth no points. Basically, this is just for you to know how well you're doing with understanding the content. So you can take those days to really go through and do the reading, watch the videos, and get ready for understanding that content. The first thing you're going to see here, you're not going to see this because you're not an instructor, but you're going to see a video that's from me, and these are just some basic tips. It's not quite as specific as this video is going to be. And below this, once I've recorded it, you're going to be seeing a link to a video that's more of an introduction to me, but I've been running a little bit behind this week, so it's not there yet. Then below that, the week 1 assigned materials. When you log into this, you're going to need to get set up on Pearson, but there's a step-by-step list of steps for how to do that once you get in there. And you're going to have an access code. It's not going to be too difficult, and if you have any trouble, you can contact Pearson for help. Then the last thing under Prepare is the week 1 online drill. So this should be helping to get you ready for the the quizzes that we'll have later in the class, and just for making sure that you understand the basic concepts that we've gone over so far. So I'm going to talk really quick about the discussions. This first one, you want to read through these even though you by the middle of the class you'll have done some discussions already, because some of them are a little bit different in terms of what there is being asked for. So if you read this first discussion question, you want to write a 300-word response, and you have the possible questions that you want to answer some of at least. You don't need to try and answer all of this. If you do answer all of these parts of this question in 300 words, that's fine. But if you want to go into more detail in answering a few of these, that's also fine. And you'll notice that with this one, that's all you're being asked to do. One 300-word response. But now let's look over here in discussion question 1.2. Here, post a 300-word response, and then you're also going to reply to 2 other students' posts by Sunday. So you have a little bit more time to do these responses. But you are doing a total of 3 posts in this discussion forum. So you want to pay attention to that, because you don't want to do extra work if you don't need to in that first discussion, but you also don't want to lose points for not getting the extra responses in for the discussion question 1.2. The goal with these, with the Collaborate section, is to really give you guys a chance to talk a little bit and get to hear from other students in the class. Because since we don't have a live session, and the study sessions that I hold aren't required, this isn't something that we're going to have a whole lot of. It's going to be hard to have synchronized, all getting together and talking. So this makes up a little bit for that, and gives us a chance to know the other people in the class. For this first week, we also have a collaborative activity. And basically for this, what you're going to do is read the instructions and then click on this attached file right here, which will open a worksheet. And this worksheet, here it is. This is what the worksheet's going to look like. You want to just go through this, and I am not really a stickler for how exactly you do this, as long as I can tell what your answer is for everything. So this first section here, this is asking you to choose which of these theses you think is the strongest. So this isn't necessarily the correct answer, but let's say you think that this second one right here is the best. Mark that however you want to. It would be easy to just highlight the text by clicking the highlight button up here and then moving on to the next one. So don't worry too much about the format as long as it's clear what your answer is. Once you've filled this out, you're going to want to save this to your computer wherever you want to put it, because then what you're going to do is post a reply to this discussion. And when you post that reply, you'll put a little bit of text in here, but then you're going to choose that file by clicking this button here, and you're going to attach it so that other students in the class can read what you came up with and can take a look. So that's what you're doing for this week 1 collaborative activity about thesis statements. Then the last part here, this is actually going to be writing the introductory paragraph for an essay. And the way this works is you're going to be writing one paper over the course of this whole class. This is going to give you time to go back and make some changes so that the whole paper is better before the end of the class. So by the end of this process, the length is not going to be that long. You see right here, it's just 2 to 3 pages. But because of that, you're also going to be doing some revising, and I'm going to be giving you some good feedback every week on what you've done so far with the paper, so that you know how to go about revising and how to make that paper stronger. So you'll want to read through these instructions and keep in mind that this is going to be a paper you're going to be working on for each of the 5 weeks. And down below this, you'll see what you're going to be doing specifically in each of the weeks. You'll be able to choose from a variety of different essay prompts, and none of these are going to require a lot of research. Really what we're looking for in this class is for you to understand how to put together a paper's structure. So we're hoping that you'll have a good thesis statement by the end of it, that you'll understand how to write a body paragraph, and basically that you've mastered how to communicate with writing. That's really the goal here, not just writing essays, but learning how to communicate well when it comes to writing. So you're going to be writing the 300-word introductory paragraph for this week, and that's all you need to do so far. So you'll want to figure out your topic. You'll want to write that introductory paragraph, but you don't have to go any farther with the paper than that. And try and make your thesis statement as good as possible, because so once you have that paragraph done, come back to this thesis, see if you can revise it, make it a little bit better, and then I'm also going to provide you some feedback on that so that by the time you finish the last version of this paper, it's going to be even better. So basically that summarizes all of the work you're going to want to do here for the first week of the class. And if you're feeling at all overwhelmed, please do get in touch with me. I'm available pretty quickly by email or by text. And as some of you have already found out, I'm happy to meet up outside of the one study session that I have set up. Basically, it's important to me, and I care a lot about writing and communication. And for any of the programs that we offer at Bryan, it's going to be a valuable skill to be able to communicate clearly when you're writing something, even if it's just for the ability to write a good cover letter to land a great job. So please do get in touch. And one last thing, I mentioned this in another video, but we do have a study session every week, and I encourage you to drop by for it. If you want to, the link's not in here yet, but it will be later today. Hover over the Connect tab and go down to Blackboard Collaborate. And when you click on this, right in this area right here, you're going to see a link to the Wednesday study session. So to get into that, you'll just click on the purple play button, which will be right about here, and that will launch you into Blackboard Collaborate, where we can talk about our ideas for this first paper. We can talk about anything that you guys are having issues with. I know I'm meeting up with one person to go over how to do citations. It's not something that's required yet, but it's also something that's going to be a good skill to have. So, alright, well I hope this has been a helpful video, and I hope your first week goes really well.